welcome residents to another one of our Talk of the Town sessions with Supervisor Dick Thurston. We welcome you today, and I'm going to share with you some of my insights of the town board workshop that we held last Saturday, and talk with you about some of the things that we're going to be doing going forward in future board meetings. Let's hope that we can see a nice break of weather. By now, I think in the past, I've normally been taping a couple of shows out at Carnwath. And so I'm looking forward to getting back to our front porch talks, during nicer weather, which I think maybe is going to start hitting us next week. Hopefully we get through this weekend. But last Saturday, we held our second workshop of the year. I'm planning on around 4, workshops, for the year. This one we focused on a number of very important projects, a continuation of the previous discussion of infrastructure projects. Now that we are seeing grant monies, federal, state, county monies opening up a little bit more than they had during COVID, we're in a good position to seek additional assistance to help us with some of these initiatives that are a combination of environmental friendly, quality of life, and then infrastructure, which of course does affect the quality of life. During the meeting, we focused on several initiatives, but the most important thing that came out of the meeting overall was that we've been able to further prioritize our projects. Steve Frazier and the Buildings and Ground Department have a very, very long list of projects that have been from the past, and then also new items as we seek to expand our community services to all of you, and as well as our many visitors into the town. So Steve went through projects that are largely related to our parks, recreation programs, and those facilities that support the programs. We've also been working on, I had a very nice productive meeting yesterday with the Deputy County Executive, Ron Hicks, on some of the initiatives that we're looking at, including how do we beautify, make more readily available the many miles of waterfront property that the town has, starting from the village boundary on Creek Road. That's largely Reese Park, where we have some major infrastructure work to do, taking it down at Creek Road and working with Alex Reese and his family, and then ending up with Chelsea and the repair, maintenance, and expansion of our boat ramp facility. So we're going to be applying for some more grant monies to do some extensive study. This is all really coming off of the fact that the EPA is initiating its project for the cleanup of some of the toxic hazardous sites along the Wappinger Creek in the village portion, and then the South Creek portion of the town. So we're looking at working with various groups within the community. I had an excellent talk with the headmaster of the Randolph School. We meet very regularly about their programs, and particularly Reese Park, which we want to really turn into a dynamic, living, outdoor classroom environment, focusing on environmental aspects of our community. So those projects and Reese Park, along with our other parks, if you've been out to Robinson Field, the baseball complex, you've already noticed how we have been doing some major repair work with some of our dugouts there. We're going to be replacing the roadway that goes into the area. We're doing work out in Rockingham Park, particularly related to the pond there, cleaning it up, adding aeration, and general enhancement of those facilities. Spook Hill Park, I'm pleased to announce that the building, that phase one, is nearly completed. We've been able to get in place the last of the materials that have been really on backlog as the supply chain went through its late COVID challenges. We were able to get the materials finally that are needed, such as replacing the current garage door with a rolling door that goes up and over. My vision is that when we have that in place, that will be like a community center rather than just a storage facility that we had before. And we have had the discussions, signing of the contract coming up for phase two of the, I think we're actually calling it phase 1A, and that's where we want to get in the, replace thoroughly the playground facilities, picnic area, etc., for the facility, and then applying for more grant money to finish out the development of the park. Steve Frazier's promised that new benches will be put in place shortly at Quiet Acres. We're looking at our other parks and facilities throughout the town for ongoing upgrades. So if any of our residents have any special requests, please get them into me, and we will, myself and the board, our building and grounds personnel will address that very, very promptly, I hope, or at least it will be on the list to get done. Please understand that we generally find it very difficult to make promises because emergency situations come up that pull our staff away, such as we had a serious issue with the failing HVAC system here in Town Hall and our emergency services building. The good news is that, knock on wood, that is well behind us now, and that the services coming out of the emergency services building will continue to be very active, intact in the years to come, as well as our town hall. On another development front, finally, I think we're at the point where we're able to make some significant changes at our highway garage complex that I think goes back to the 1930s, maybe as early as 1928. We had a bond issue that is going to be used for creating a new mechanics bay that will have the state-of-the-art equipment, such as a mechanics lift, to enable us to better handle our repair of our big snowplows and other trucks. So that will be moving ahead very quickly and was discussed during the workshop. Another item which is really relating to our water and sewer infrastructure, we have several of those that are going on. I had a meeting yesterday with the county with respect to how we can partner with them with respect to the Midpoint Park sewer plant that we have to decommission. We're looking at the possibility of extending the sewer line as we decommission that plant, or up through Airport Park, down Route 376, and then we're exploring the cost options of either taking the sewage into sewage processing plant in East Fishkill or down to Tri-Municipal. That's a matter really of costs and then available funding. So I'm really optimistic that we're going to be able to move along. We're starting the engineering studies. I was able to get a grant, a $100,000 grant, which has a matching $20,000 requirement to do the engineering studies with respect to that particular project. So that will be discussed more as it was during our board workshop. Another project is really with respect to bringing water and sewer down Route 9. Again, meeting with the county, had some very good results. I just met with our town engineer to do a further cost analysis as grant monies are starting to free up. We'll be now, I think, for the first time in a long time, truly having some roll up the shirt sleeves, productive meetings in that regard. And we're looking at other water, projects over here at Town Hall. Our wells are, like many others, failing. They don't meet the standards that the Public Health Department has established. So we had some discussions during our workshop pertaining to those, and then other water connections, throughout the town. Now that we have a very good, stable connection. With respect to water conservation, we're working with several organizations to come up with a very robust water conservation plan that will enable us to further save on the drawdown of our water resources, so that we'll be able to even have more opportunity to develop new extensions of our water lines throughout the town in the months and years ahead. So stay tuned for a number of those projects as we discuss them at the board. And we'll have probably our next workshop where we'll be talking about some possible code changes, additional changes to the code, hopefully make it more friendly to our residents and to our businesses within the community. So there's a lot going on. As I've said repeatedly, we need volunteers. And certainly, I look forward to anybody that's interested. We have in my office, supervisor's office, excuse me, volunteer forms. If any member of the community would like to participate in and working with us. Of course, we have from time to time openings on our Planning Board, Zoning Board of Appeals, and the Tax Assessment Appeals Board. I believe actually in the latter one we have an opening or two, and the Planning Board we may have an opening in the near term. So any interest, please let me know, and we'll take that into consideration. On Monday night's board meeting, we have I've invited, and they've accepted the invitation. Central Hudson will be speaking to us. Unlike, I think, some other communities around here, Central Hudson has been very supportive of working with the town of Wapanger on a variety of programs, and I think we've been able to address a number of concerns of our residents much more quickly than perhaps other areas. They will, I believe, talk about some of the energy crisis, and I think you'll hear how actually what they do is they're not adding additional profit to their budgets. They are really passing through the costs that are being that they're burdened with. What's happened in a lot of the energy sector, and wearing my other hat as a lawyer, I've been involved in some of this, is that the producers of energy, whether it's the gas companies, it's the oil companies, it's even the green energy companies, they've been passing on a lot more in the way of costs, which I personally think helps them make more in the way of profits. But we're working closely with Central Hudson, and so if you're interested in hearing more about what they're doing and doing within the town of Wapanger, then listen to our program or come out and participate if you wish on Monday night during our board meeting. Also, we'll have several other items on the agenda, including this is very important to me, is the Child Abuse, National Child Abuse Prevention Month. As you know, any type of activity involving our youth and the protection of our youth and the helping our youth is very important. This is one aspect of it. Others that we've addressed deal with different illnesses that have afflicted our young people, also the bullying aspect of it. So we'll be hearing more from the director of the county program, Kimberly Haight. It's Carrie Pratt will be here for Central Hudson. So again, please stay tuned if you have any interest in trying to help out. This is a very important issue today, particularly in the post-COVID society, where there's probably not one person that hasn't been afflicted from a depression, a stress, and worry, point of view. All of us, I think, are there, and so we need to, as I said recently in Southern Dutchess News column, we need to really stand together, work together to help each other. So please get involved. We look forward to your involvement in the future. And until soon, please stay safe and remain well.